My dad is a bankrupt villain. In the poorest year, he decided to go into business. He left me in the rental house with some instructions. Leona, Daddy's going to find a sugar daddy to support us. Wait for me. But I waited for 3 days. When I was nearly starving to death, subtitles suddenly floated before my eyes. The villain is in a coma from a car accident, and this little one is probably going to starve to death. This is his and the malicious female supporting character's daughter. Can't blame the malicious female supporting character either. When she gave birth, her parents abandoned the child, telling her she had delivered a stillborn. She never even knew this child existed. She even adopted another child and poured all her maternal love into him. The little one went out to find her father and was about to be kidnapped by human traffickers when she just happened to pass by the malicious female supporting character. Later, when the trafficker tried to lure me away, I rushed over and clung to her leg. Mom, help. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. I pulled out the last few cookies from the bag. Maverick lay at my feet, staring longingly at the food in my hand, drooling. Maverick, let's split it half and half. I broke the cookie in half and shared a piece with it. It licked my hand but didn't eat it right away, instead nudging the cookie back toward me with its nose. Maverick is a border collie that Dad and I rescued from the vegetable market, beautiful and clever. Before leaving, Dad specifically told it to keep an eye on me. He said, if we're lucky, he'd bring back a big shot to support us. I don't know whose big shot it is. All I know is that Dad seems to be in a pretty bad situation. I can't find a job no matter how hard I try. Not even street sweeping positions are available. He said someone is deliberately making things difficult for him, but it's okay. For my sake, he'll find a way to earn money. Dad said he'd only be out for 2 hours, but it's been 3 days now and he still hasn't returned. I know Maverick is hungry too. The bag of dog food bought last month has long been empty. Maverick has only been eating the cookie crumbs I shared with it these past 2 days. When is Dad coming back? I rubbed my sore eyes and nibbled on the cookies. Outside the window, the sky darkened again. Fortunately, there's Maverick, so I'm not afraid. I pressed my face against the glass window to look down, waiting for Dad to appear around the corner. But the street corner was empty, with only a few pedestrians hurrying by. My stomach growled again, and I patted my flat little belly. Sigh, I'm so hungry. Maverick's stomach was also growling. Is Dad lost? I said to Maverick, let's go out and look for Dad. It whimpered and bit my pant leg, refusing to let me go. But I'm so hungry. Maverick, will you come with me? I promise I won't wander off. It tilted its head and hesitated for a moment. Woof. I put Maverick on a leash, hung the keys around its neck, and opened the door. The hallway was pitch black. Maverick walked ahead of me, ears perked up vigilantly. When we reached the ground floor, the night wind suddenly rushed into my collar, making me hunch my shoulders. Where should I go to find Dad? Maverick sniffed around and led me to the right. After just a few steps, my vision suddenly blurred, and a line of subtitles appeared before my eyes. It even came with text-to-speech. How bizarre. The villain was in a car accident and remains unconscious. This little one might starve to death. After all, she's his and the malicious female supporting character's daughter. Can't really blame the malicious female supporting character either. When she gave birth, her parents abandoned the child, telling her she had delivered a stillborn. She never even knew this child existed. She even adopted another child, pouring all her maternal love into him. Meanwhile, this little one went out searching for her father and is about to be kidnapped by human traffickers, just as she brushes past the malicious female supporting character. My heart was pounding a little too fast. What are they talking about? Is the villain referring to Dad, who is the malicious female supporting character? Whose daughter am I? Maverick, do you see those earthworms? I asked Maverick while looking down. It looked at me in confusion. They said Dad had a car accident and was lying unconscious in the hospital. I went out to look for him and might encounter bad people who would take me away. Besides, Mom was right beside me at that time. Didn't Dad say I was like the Monkey King, born from a crack in a stone? He also said Mom was Patriarch Bodhi, still in the process of cultivation. One day, they'll find me. Not far away, a tall, thin man crept over furtively. His eyes darted around. "Hey kid. Why are you here all alone?" He bared his yellowed teeth and asked me. Maverick immediately pricked up his ears, emitting a low growl from his throat. My heart raced as I tightened my grip on the leash. Could this person be the bad guy mentioned in the subtitles? "I'm looking for my dad." "Are you a bad person?" I asked loudly. "If the bad person appears, will Mom appear too?" How could I possibly be a bad person?" The man's expression froze. On such a cold day. "Your father is really irresponsible." He shook his head and reached out to take my hand. "Uncle will take you to find your dad." "Okay." I take a step back. Dad said I shouldn't go with strangers, but the subtitles said that when bad people are around, Mom is nearby. "No, my mom is right here. I want to go find Dad with Mom." The man froze for a moment, then looked around again. "It's your mom who asked me to pick you up so we can go find your dad together. She's waiting in the car just ahead." I followed his pointing finger with my gaze. A black car was parked by the roadside. Bullet comments. The woman sitting in the black car was actually the child's mother. How tragic. They had just made eye contact, yet still missed each other. Oh my. What a fateful encounter. Haven't the villain and the malicious female supporting character suffered enough punishment? We're already at the finale, yet they're still being tormented. Exactly. The villain was already ruined by the male lead. Lost his family and can't even find work. The malicious female supporting character gave birth but doesn't even know she has a child. My heart was pounding wildly as I sprinted toward the black car. Maverick reacted faster than I did, yanking the rope so hard it nearly lifted me off my feet. "Hey, kid, it's the white car up ahead," the man shouted furiously behind us. The door of the black car happened to open. A very beautiful aunt stepped out, holding a little boy's hand. Without hesitation, I rushed forward and hugged her leg. Help." The woman was so startled she nearly fell, and the little boy beside her also widened his eyes in shock. "Whose child is this?" The man who had chased after them now wore an expression of urgency. "Oh, I'm so sorry. This is my daughter." She ran off being mischievous. He reached out to grab me. "Come home with Daddy now." "He's not my dad. He's a bad man." I clung desperately to the woman's leg. "He's trying to take me away." The man grew furious. "Don't cause trouble for others. Come with me quickly, otherwise, I'll beat you to death when we get home." Maverick immediately barked fiercely and pounced, biting his calf. "Damn beast." The man kicked Maverick. "Stop. I've already called the police. Whether she's your daughter or not, we'll wait for the police to arrive." The woman raised her phone. "Mind your own business. This is my child." The man panicked and actually tried to drag me away by force. I screamed in terror. At that moment, the little boy who had been silent suddenly rushed forward and bit his arm. "Ah, you little brat, let go, I'll kill you." The man released me in pain. I was stunned. The barrage of comments was also shocked. "Holy shit. Cyril, isn't he mildly autistic? LMAO. The dog bites his left foot, he bites his left hand. This biting stance is way too savage." A crowd of onlookers had already gathered around. The white van, sensing trouble, had already stepped on the gas and sped away. By the time the police arrived, the man had already been pinned to the ground by bystanders and lost 2 teeth. I saw it clearly. One of them was stomped out by a little boy named Cyril. He was so fierce. We were all taken back to the police station. Mom was sitting right beside me, comforting Cyril. I felt a bit envious, watching them longingly. "Little one, can you tell me your dad's name?" a kind police officer asked me. "Larry." "My dad's name is Larry." "And my name is Leona." "Larry." Mom gave me a strange look, took out her phone, and showed me a photo of Dad. "Is it him?" I nodded. "She really is my mom. She actually has a photo of Dad." Mom sneered. "Well done, Larry. No wonder you disappeared. Turns out you had a child behind my back." The police officer looked at us with confusion. "Do you know this child's father?" "No. The person I know is already dead." Bullet comments. What a huge misunderstanding. The villain faked his death and left with the child because he was afraid the malicious female supporting character's parents would harm Leona. Back then, they threw the child into a trash can and lied to the female supporting character, telling her the child had died. If it weren't for Larry seeing it, Leona would have died long ago. The female supporting character's parents simply didn't want their daughter to marry the penniless villain whose family had gone bankrupt. Did my maternal grandparents throw me into the trash bin? Did Dad save me? The police officer's phone suddenly rang. He answered it, spoke a few words, then turned to us. We've found the child's father. He's currently at People's Hospital. He was admitted 3 days ago after a car accident and has been unconscious ever since. Mom's expression froze for a moment, as if she was angry yet also heartbroken. I walked over and gently tugged at the corner of her clothes. Mom, can you take me to find Dad? Her eyes held a complicated emotion. I'm not your mother. I lowered my head, tears welling up in my eyes. Maverick nuzzled my leg to comfort me. Cyril reached out to pet Maverick, but Maverick dodged away. He turned his head and stared at his mother without speaking. Forget it. I'll take you. Bullet comments. It's rare to see Cyril take a liking to something, making the female supporting character soften. Damn it. A biological child is less likable than a dog. In the hospital, Maverick cannot enter. He can only stay in the car. Just as we reached the door of the ward, we heard Dad's voice from inside. Is he awake? I must be discharged. My daughter is home alone, Mr. Larry. Your condition still requires observation. Observe my ass. My daughter is only 4 years old. If this observation continues, she'll starve to death. Agitated, I broke free from my mother's grip and rushed into the hospital room. Dad. His head was wrapped in bandages, his face pale. He was sitting on the hospital bed arguing with the doctor when he suddenly turned his head at the sound of my voice. I threw myself into his arms. Leona, what are you doing here? Who brought you? Mom brought me. I looked toward the door and whispered. Dad's body stiffened. He slowly looked up and saw his mother standing at the door, his arm instinctively tightening around me. Mrs. Mandy, Mother sneered. Mrs. Mandy, then should I call you Mr. Larry? You're really something, leaving your daughter alone at home. She came out looking for you and almost got taken by human traffickers. If she hadn't been quick-witted and hugged me calling me Mom, you wouldn't have a daughter now. Dad was so scared he looked me up and down. Leona, are you okay? I shook my head. Mom saved me. I thought it was just someone with the same name. But it turns out my ex-boyfriend really came back from the dead. What? Was the coffin lid too thin to hold you down? So you crawled back out. Dad shrank his neck, his eyes darting around, clearly feeling very guilty. Mom strode over and grabbed Dad by the collar. Tell me, where is the child's biological mother? How could you be with me while having a child with another woman, you bastard? She ran away, Dad stammered. Leona was just born when Karma, you abandoned me, and she abandoned you. Serves you right. Mom let go, her smile uglier than tears. I looked at them, confused. But isn't she my mother? The ward was terrifyingly quiet. Mom suddenly looked at Cyril, who was standing nearby. Cyril, take Leona out for a moment. No, I clung to Dad's arm. Mom looked like she was about to beat Dad to death. Leona, be a good girl and go wait outside with that brother. Dad will be fine. Cyril walked over, stiffly took my hand, and without a word pulled me toward the door. The moment the door closed, a dull thud sounded from inside. Ouch. Mandy, why are you still so violent? Don't hit the face. Not there either, Dad. I broke free from Cyril's grip and threw myself at the door, pounding on it with all my strength. Are you okay? I'm fine. Leona, Dad's suppressed voice came through the door. Listening more carefully, there was no sound inside anymore. Bullet comments. The supporting female character directly pins the villain on the bed and starts hitting. So fierce. Gasp. The villain's lip got bitten and is bleeding. Ouch. There are so many bite marks on the chest. Is the female lead a dog? Dad got bitten. My anxious heart finally settled. It's fine. Maverick sometimes bites my pant legs too. Dad said it likes me and wants to play with me. Does Mom also want Dad to play with her? Cyril stood nearby, expressionless. He took a card out of his pocket and handed it to me. Buy Maverick. What to buy? Buy with a small card. Maverick. Is this person crazy? No sale. Cyril frowned and pulled out another card. By Maverick. No way, Maverick is mine, not for sale. He looked confused. Maverick is my godfather. Would you sell your mom to me? Godfather. Cyril's expression seemed to half understand. I straightened my back. Once when I couldn't sleep at midnight, I secretly climbed out of bed and turned on the gas at home. It was Maverick who stepped on and woke up my dad. Dad said, if it weren't for Maverick, the three of us might have been buried together in the same year, month, and day. So he made me recognize Maverick as my godfather. Cyril's mouth formed an O shape. A long moment passed. Your dad, a loser. Your dad's the real loser. I immediately fought back, just as we were exchanging insults about each other's fathers. The door behind us opened. Mom, looking refreshed, came over and patted my head, asking if I wanted to go with her. My eyes lit up. What about Dad? She glanced back at her father lying on the hospital bed. Perfect, your daughter has no mother. And my son has no father. Either you come with me, or I'll shove you back into the coffin, just in time for the winter solstice. Mom threatened viciously. Dad wrapped himself in the blanket, only revealing his two bruised eyes, and mumbled indistinctly, Mandy, you can't what? When you seduced me back then, you didn't say it wasn't allowed. Mom pressed the call button. I asked the doctor if Dad could be discharged from the hospital. The doctor suggested observing for a while longer. Can we observe at home? We have a private doctor. Mom got straight to the point. Fine then. 3 minutes later, Mom directed 2 bodyguards to roll Dad up in his blanket and carry him out of the hospital room. Mandy, are you even being reasonable? Dad flailed in midair. My shoes. I haven't put on my shoes yet. Mom casually picked up Dad's shoes from the floor and stuffed them into his blanket. Hold them. Bullet comments. Ha 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 ha, holy shit, what kind of domineering CEO plot is this? Villain, do I not deserve any dignity? Never seen a villain in such a sorry state before. Larry, I was once a domineering CEO, after all. Supporting female character A is absolutely killing it. After Dad was brought home, Mom somehow got hold of a shiny golden chain, with one end locked to the head of the bed and the other fastened around Dad's ankle. Mandy, do you think I'm a dog? He angrily tugged at the chain. Without even looking up, Mom instructed the nanny, Aunt Garrison, to prepare a special meal for Dad, casually replying to him in between, you're not even as good as a dog. I squatted beside it, eyeing the chain, and secretly took a bite. It's made of gold. Dad struck it rich. The length of the chain was just enough to allow him to reach the bedroom door. Maverick wagged his tail as he passed by his dad, going in and out 800 times a day. Dad, definitely not as good as a dog. Bullet comments, ha ha ha. This is utterly disgraceful for a villain. A solid gold chain. The female supporting character really went all out. Larry, as a dignified villain, do I not deserve any respect? Even dogs have more freedom than the villain. I'm dying of laughter. At first, I was worried that Mom's parents might also be at home, but during dinner, Mom casually mentioned, oh, one's at Nanshan Mental Hospital, the other's at Baishan Mental Hospital. I was shocked. What's up? Both gone crazy? The barrage instantly exploded. Holy shit, what kind of move is this? Even the biological parents get locked up when the female supporting character goes berserk. Different mental hospitals, seriously. I secretly nudged Cyril sitting beside me with my toes. Is it true? Cyril glanced at me. Do you want to go with me? I won't go. I won't go. I shook my head like a rattle drum. After dinner, Mom asked Maverick to borrow the dog bowl, saying she was going to take food to Dad. She's been gone for a long time and still hasn't come back down. Bored, I sprawled on the couch watching Cyril put together a puzzle. He was concentrating hard on it. The unsolved puzzle pieces were neatly arranged by color and shape, all sorted in perfect order. Maverick, full and content, happily rolled around beside him, belly up and legs kicking wildly, accidentally flipping over, kicking that pile of puzzle pieces into complete disarray. Cyril's finger froze mid-air, and I saw a vein twitch at his temple. Her lips were pressed tightly together, as if she was about to get angry. Maverick still recklessly tried to lick her hand. I rushed over in a flash and hugged it. Maverick didn't mean it. Cyril slowly raised his head, His eyes red and filled with grievance. Bullet comments, this young master is about to lose his temper. The little one's godfather is about to become dog meat hot pot. One characteristic of autism is the inability to tolerate disrupted routines, otherwise it causes extreme distress. I'm sorry, I shielded Maverick behind me, it didn't mean to. If you want to hit someone, hit me instead. Maverick is off limits. Suddenly inspired, I turned around and thrust my butt right under Cyril's raised hand. Here, hit me. If you hit me, you can't hit Maverick anymore. His hand was just a tiny distance away from my butt, then jerked back as if burned. His expression shifted from anger to shock, his entire face flushing red all the way to the tips of his ears. He's so amazing. How can it be as red as a monkey's but I saw at the zoo? What are you doing? Cyril's voice cracked. Dad said we must take responsibility when we do something wrong. He also said that admitting mistakes should be sincere, and when being punished, one should stand straight. I took 2 steps back and earnestly thrust my buttocks into his hand. Don't worry. I definitely won't tell Mom. Get away, he screamed, scrambling backward in a panic, hiding under the table. The barrage exploded with comments. Ha 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 ha. This little brat's attitude of admitting mistakes is so sincere. What has autism been driven to? Cyril, don't touch me. I chased after him, tilting my head to look at the trembling Cyril hiding inside. Aren't you going to hit me? He flailed his arms wildly and screamed. Go away, don't come near me. Why is he so afraid of me? I didn't even bully him. It was clearly him who got angry at Maverick first. Maverick looked at me, then at Cyril. With its furry butt sticking up, it crawled on its belly to his feet and nuzzled its head into his embrace. He clung tightly to the dog's head, still shaken with fear. Me, you and Maverick made up. Cyril, MHM. I won't hit you. As expected, no one could dislike the adorable Maverick. I smacked my forehead. Wait for me. I gathered all the scattered puzzle pieces from the floor, put them back into the box, and then dashed upstairs with it clutched to my chest. I may not know how to assemble it, but Dad definitely does. He's so clever, there's nothing he isn't good at. When I was little, he even made a pinwheel for me, though it wouldn't spin, and there was that twisty car toy that left my bottom covered in prickly splinters. Dad's door was shut. I turned the doorknob, but it didn't budge. That's odd. Didn't Mom bring Dad his meal? Why would the door be locked? Are you secretly eating something delicious? I pressed my ear against the door. From inside came rustling sounds and Dad's hushed voice. Mandy, I'm a patient. You can't take advantage of me. So what? You wouldn't be happy if I actually came down. Are they fighting or eating in there? There's a loud clattering noise inside. I knock on the door. Dad, have you finished your meal? Did Mom hit you again? Suddenly, the room fell into an eerie silence. The barrage of comments exploded. Kids shouldn't listen to this. Leona came at the wrong time. A few more hits and the villain would have snapped. Is this little brat here to jinx Mom or Dad? A full 10 seconds passed. Dad's voice came through, sounding a bit breathless. Leona, Dad's fine. Ate already. Then open the door. I shook the puzzle box. Maverick broke Big Brother's puzzle. I can't fix it. Will you help me put it together, please? Behind me, someone gently tugged at the hem of my clothes. Turning around, Cyril had somehow followed me unnoticed. Pursing his lips, his gaze fell on the puzzle box. After a moment's hesitation, he awkwardly took my small hand in his. Let's go. I stood still, confused. I haven't found Dad's puzzle yet. Cyril's ear tips turned slightly red as he forced out a sentence. I'll do the puzzle myself. Forget it. Dad's head is still injured, so I won't make him think too hard. I leaned close to the door crack and shouted inside, Mom, keep feeding Dad. I'm going downstairs with the little brother to do the puzzle. Bullet comments. Ha 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 ha. Goddamn spoon feeding. Supporting female lead. Should I keep going? Wore white for nothing. Dying of laughter. Back on the living room carpet. I watched Cyril reorganize the puzzle pieces, fast and accurate. I held my face in awe. Wow, you're amazing, big bro. Whoa. Maverick monkey see, monkey do. Cyril curled the corners of his lips slightly. He didn't speak, just pieced faster. When only the last puzzle piece remained, Cyril stopped and looked up at me. Would you like to try? My eyes lit up. Can I really? He nodded and handed the fragment to me. I solemnly took it, aligned it with the gap, and pressed down. The entire castle puzzle is complete. In excitement, I planted a big kiss on Cyril's face. Thank you, big brother. He froze instantly, his face turning as red as a monkey's bottom. What are you doing? Mom's voice came from the stairs, her eyes wide as they darted between Cyril and me. The big brother shared his puzzle with me. I pointed at the castle on the ground. He and I built it together. Cyril stood up stiffly and walked toward the stairs with clumsy, uncoordinated steps. I'm going to wash my face. After he left, Mom came over, her eyes red, and hugged me tightly in excitement. Leona, your father told me everything. You are my daughter. Her voice was intermittent and trembling. Back then, my parents forced me to marry someone I didn't love for business benefits. They abandoned you. I reached out and touched her face. It was damp. Mom, don't cry. It must be Leona isn't cute enough, so Mom's parents don't like me. Dad said I looked as ugly as Mom when I was little. Mom was shocked. Her tears stopped, and she gritted her teeth in anger. Did he really say that? I nodded, but Dad's expression was strange when he said it, as if he wanted to both laugh and cry. Bullet comments. The villain and the female supporting character also had it rough. Larry's childhood redemption was clearly Mandy, but because she gave the jade pendant, the villain gave her to the female lead. Larry mistakenly thought he was in love with the female lead. Actually, it wasn't love, just a desire to be good to her. In the end, the female lead chose the male lead, but the villain's subordinate went behind his back to kidnap her, causing her to lose a child. That subordinate had long betrayed the villain, only wanting to incite a fight between the male lead and the villain. As a result, the villain lost, at the cost of his family's destruction. Mom. Will we live together from now on, like on TV, having breakfast together every day? Mom kissed me. We'll never be apart again. If your dad tries to leave, I'll break his legs. With broken legs, he really wouldn't be able to walk. Well, that works too. As long as Mom and Dad are by my side, that's all I need. What about that little brother? Is he part of our family too? Cyril, will he also live with us? Mom's eyes filled with sympathy as she sighed. Cyril was brought home by Mom 2 years ago. His biological parents died in a car accident right in front of him. He was only 3 years old at the time. Later, the relatives thought he was too odd and refused to take him in. Your father was just like him when he was little. Didn't like to talk and always kept to himself. Leona, can you help Mom spend more time with Cyril? Bullet comments slowly drift by. Cyril was picked up by her from beside a trash can 2 years ago. Away from the influence of the male and female leads, the supporting female character isn't malicious at all. Larry was abducted by traffickers as a child and escaped, only to be picked up by the supporting female character near a trash can too. Right. What a fateful cycle. I nodded solemnly. I will never make him angry again. I'm willing to share half of my father's love with him. After dinner, I climbed onto my mother's bed. Cyril stood at the door, staring at me as if in a huff. Mine. What's his? I didn't take anything from him. He pointed at the bed, repeated, mine. Oh, he said this is where he sleeps, but I want to sleep with Mom too. I hugged Mom's pillow tightly, but I want to sleep with Mom too. Can you go sleep with Dad instead? Cyril pouted again, clearly unhappy. I had a sudden idea and made a suggestion. Let's have a competition. The winner gets to sleep with Mom. What are we competing in? A dog barking contest. Maverick will be the judge. Whoever he thinks barks the best wins. Lying on the ground licking its paws, Maverick suddenly scrambled up and sat properly. Bullet comments. Having a dog as the referee, isn't that cheating? Cyril, why did I agree to this? To be honest, when I was a kid and imitated a dog's bark, all the dogs in the village would bark along with me. That scene made me feel as majestic as the king of dogs. Cyril stammered, childish, afraid to lose. You can't even bark like a dog. I can. Then you go first. He glanced around to make sure no one was watching, then whispered softly, woof. Maverick didn't even lift his head, continuing to lick his paw. My turn. I cleared my throat, straightened my posture, and let out a loud, resounding woof. Woof woof. Maverick immediately pricked up its ears and responded to me with woof woof woof. You lost. Tonight, I'm sleeping with Mom, I declared triumphantly. Cyril reluctantly carried his pillow to his own room, looking back every few steps. After finishing her shower, Mom came over and found only me on the bed, asking curiously, Cyril. I blinked. Big brother said he's grown up now and wants to sleep by himself from now on. Mom, tell me a story. Dad's been telling the tale of the little tadpoles looking for their mom for ages. I've already found my mom, but it still hasn't found its mom yet. Mom patted my head and held me in her arms. 3 stories were told all at once. I wanted to keep listening, but my eyelids were getting heavy. In a daze, I heard her ask me, Leona, during this time, did you have any other mothers? I mumbled, no, only Dad and Maverick, the daughter of the fruit shop owner once asked, she said. Could she be my mom? Dad said no, if Mom found out, she'd break his legs. Dad also said that Mom is the patriarch Bodhi, cultivating in seclusion, and can't come to us for now. If I call someone else Mom, she would be unhappy. So I must keep waiting for Mom. Mom didn't say anything, just gently kissed my forehead. I completely fell asleep. I really need to pee in the middle of the night. I wanted to go to the bathroom and realized the space beside me was empty. In the hallway, a faint light seeped from Dad's door. Walking over to look, I happened to see him being pressed against the wall by Mom for questioning. So you've been on the run with Leona for 4 years. Do you think you're something special? Father sighed helplessly. I misjudged you back then. I couldn't face you. Even Leona was an accident between you and me. Her mother was both angry and anxious. How do you know it was an accident? Bullet comments. The supporting female character was told from childhood that her fate was unlucky and grew up with her grandmother, while the female lead's birth chart was prosperous for the Shin family, so she replaced her and became the Shin family's eldest daughter. She just wanted to take back what rightfully belonged to her. Was that so wrong? At first, the female supporting character also wanted to be sisters with the female lead and even gave the jade gifted by the antagonist to her. But anyone would be angry upon learning that their fiancé, who was betrothed to them, had taken a liking to their nominal older sister. The barrage comments said that after Mom found out no one loved her, she went to a bar to drink. She saw Dad, who had been persistently pursuing the female lead, and deliberately fell into his arms. The two of them had me after getting drunk. Larry, if I don't want to do something, no one can force me. Dad smiled bitterly. I'm penniless now. Even less worthy of you. Leona is left to you. She's suffered so much following me. I'll leave tomorrow. I was shocked. Dad was leaving. He didn't want me anymore. Should I go with Dad or Mom? Maverick, what about you? Who does it belong to? Mom pinched his chin and sneered, then give it a try. I frantically pushed open the door, crying out to Dad, don't go. Didn't you say you'd rely on someone powerful to support me? Can't you rely on Mom instead? Dad stood there, stunned. No, Leona. Don't talk nonsense. Mandy, that's not what I meant. Mother released him with a faint, enigmatic smile. Fine. So you look down on me for being poor and want to make a living on your own merits, Dad hurriedly explained. But Mom held my hand and walked out without looking back. Behind us, Dad opened and closed his mouth a few times, his expression as if struck by lightning. It was my first time sleeping with Mom. I slept for a long time. When I rubbed my eyes and went downstairs, I immediately sensed something was off. Dad was at the dining table, staring intently at an unfamiliar uncle sitting on the sofa. That uncle was incredibly handsome. Bullet comments. Holy shit, it's the female lead's childhood friend Brian, a financial genius who just returned from abroad. Didn't the villain say he was going to wander? Why hasn't he left even after removing his ankle chain? Been staring at them all morning. Are you leaving or not? Such a tsundere man, Leona. You're awake. Mom gestured for me to come over. This is Brian, Mom's friend. I obediently called him Uncle. Brian took out a small box from his pocket. Leona, this is a gift from Uncle for you. Cough, cough, cough. An earth-shattering fit of coughing suddenly erupted behind us. We turned our heads simultaneously. We saw Dad clutching his chest, looking as if he was about to roll his eyes back. Go on. I just choked on the porridge, Mandy. My friend saw you at the police station yesterday. Are you okay? Brian uncle asked. I'm fine, and I even found my daughter. I never thought my parents would abandon my own flesh and blood, but thankfully, she's back with me now. Dad spoke softly. Hello. I am Leona's father. A vein twitched on Mom's forehead. No one asked you. He ducked his head and said pitifully, oh. The sound of slurping porridge filled the air, the one sitting beside him eating steamed buns. Cyril silently moved his bowl further away. Dad glared. Brian uncle looked thoughtfully at Dad. I never thought you'd be willing to come back and help me. Given our relationship, if you ask, I'll definitely agree. Wait a moment. I'll pick you up and we'll go to the company together. The sound of a spoon clattering into the bowl rang out. Dad slumped sideways against the back of the chair, one hand clutching his forehead tightly. Ouch, my head suddenly hurts so much. Mom rushed over in a panic to support him. Larry, where does it hurt? I'll call Dr. Lynn over here, and here too. Father weakly pointed to the back of his head and forehead, while secretly glancing at Brian. After all, you pinned me down before my injuries had even healed. Mom instinctively covered his mouth, gritting her teeth. Shut up. The barrage exploded instantly. Did the villain forget to drink green tea this morning? No green tea, but had steamed buns with vinegar instead. I saw it, took a big gulp of vinegar, while eating steamed buns. I watched Dad smugly squint at Brian. After the doctor arrived, a full set of examinations was conducted, yet all indicators were normal, and the wound was healing well. Mom seemed to understand something. Still have a headache, Dad stubbornly said. It doesn't hurt now, but it really hurt earlier. This is intermittent. Sometimes it can't be detected. Oh, how about going to the hospital for another full-body checkup? Like, maybe see if your drama queen nerves are wired wrong. Mom reached out and pinched his ear. Dad grimaced in pain. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Mandy, I was wrong. The barrage comments went wild with laughter. TSK, TSK, TSK. Such terrible acting. Yet you still love to perform. Serves you right for faking your death back then. Brian, mere trifles, not worth mentioning. Mom let go of Dad's ear and turned to me. Leona, let Uncle Pan take you and Cyril to kindergarten, and help you with the enrollment procedures while he's at it. She glanced at her dejected father. Larry, you said last night you were leaving. I've thought it over. I shouldn't force you to stay. The door's right there. You're free to go. Dad looked utterly shattered. Leave? When did I say I was leaving? I'm Leona's father. Leona is where I am. The corners of Mom's lips quickly curled up, then fell back down. She called Brian, who was still watching the show, to go to the company together. Dad stared at their retreating figures and took an angry bite of his steamed bun hoops. I bit my finger. Ouch, that really hurts. Cyril, Dad, Brian does Uncle like Mom? Dad retorted. Don't talk nonsense, kid. Your mom likes someone like me. Cyril, really, Dad. After breakfast, Dad accompanied us to kindergarten. During the paperwork process, the teacher asked about the relationship between my dad and me. Leona and Cyril's father, standing nearby. Cyril looked up with a flicker of surprise in his eyes. Dad secretly winked at him, silently mouthing, "Save me some face." He pursed his lips, lowered his head, and remained silent. The kindergarten kids all love to play with me, but none of them pay attention to Cyril. I asked Brooke, "Why don't any of them play with the older brother?" Brooke snorted. "It's him who doesn't want to play with us." Maria imitated Cyril's cold expression. "We asked him to join the game, and that's what he said. Go away." The other children followed suit, each putting on a stern little face to say go away. Then bursting into giggles together, I turned to look at Cyril in the corner. He was sitting alone in the reading area, looking at a picture book. Bullet comments. Children with autism naturally have this kind of temperament. Under the care of the female supporting character, he has already improved a lot. How pitiful. Normal social interaction is still a bit difficult for him. I ran over and grabbed Cyril's wrist without a word. "Hey big brother, come play with blocks together." He pulled his wrist back. Not going, you have to go, otherwise, I'll tell Mom you spanked me. I pulled him back with all my might. Cyril looked at me in shock, after a few seconds of standoff. He reluctantly followed me to the building block area. Seeing this, the other children quickly stepped back. Let's build a castle, okay? I handed him a block. Cyril stared at the block in his hand, unmoving. By the time the castle I built collapsed for the 5th time, I was so frustrated I started rolling around in anger. Tears welled up, on the verge of falling. Brooke comforted me. It's okay. I can't do it either. None of us can. Cyril silently picked up the building blocks and began assembling them at lightning speed. In the blink of an eye, a huge castle rose from the ground. The children unknowingly gathered around. Wow, Cyril, you're amazing. This castle is so tall. It's just like the one the princess lives in at Disney. I proudly raised my chin. My brother is a genius. Cyril's ears turned slightly red. Woke up from a nap. The teacher asked everyone to draw my family. The other children were all drawing pictures of their parents holding hands with little figures. But I saw Cyril's paper gradually revealing a big dog. Isn't this Maverick? The teacher walked over, looked at it, and asked him in surprise, "Why did you draw a dog?" He didn't answer. I grabbed his drawing and announced to the whole class, "This is my godfather. Its name is Maverick. It's so smart." The kids burst into an uproar. Is the godfather a dog? So cool, a godfather that can bark. I want a godfather like that too. Cyril tried to snatch back the drawing paper, but I had already held it up and paraded it around the room. The barrage comments went wild with laughter. Holy shit, a godfather who barks like a dog. Would this godfather steal cat poop to eat? Leona is such a social butterfly. By the end of school, the legend of the godfather who could bark like a dog had spread throughout the entire class. When Dad appeared at the school gate, the children swarmed around him. Leona's dad, is the godfather here? Will Godfather really go to the toilet by himself? Can I touch Godfather's tail? Dad caught me in his arms with a bewildered look as I rushed towards him. What Godfather? Maverick. I wrapped my arms around Dad's neck and showed him Cyril's drawing. The big brother drew this. I want to take it home and hide it. This is Maverick's first drawing. Father's gaze fell upon Cyril, and he ruffled his hair. Cyril drew so well. He silently smoothed his tousled hair. On the way back, Dad asked Uncle Garrison to take us to the pet store. We bought Maverick lots of snacks. Cyril picked out a pink collar. I wanted to say Maverick is a boy, but Dad praised him for having great taste. Maverick will definitely love it. Forget it. Maverick also liked Dad's slippers. When we returned home carrying bags of all sizes, an enticing sweet and sour aroma greeted us. Brian emerged from the kitchen and placed a plate of sweet and sour fish in front of Mom. Why are you here again? Dad's voice came through clenched teeth. Brian didn't even look up. Mandy, try this quickly. My cooking skills should still be there. He waved at me and Cyril. Kids, wash your hands and come eat. Mom picked up a piece of fish and put it in her mouth, her eyes slightly narrowing. Just the right doneness. She seemed to have just noticed her father standing at the door. Why are you still here? I never said I was leaving. You misheard. Dad frowned and walked toward the dining table. Just as Brian was about to sit in the seat next to Mom, he dashed over and plopped down firmly. Bullet comments. What's the villain doing? So childish. What kind of elementary school seat-grabbing behavior is this? Brian, I've never seen someone so shameless. Brian paid no heed and instead sat down across from me. Dad proudly picked up a piece of fish with his chopsticks, but the moment it entered his mouth, he complained disdainfully, "Why does it taste so fishy? Let me try it." I couldn't wait and grabbed a big piece. It's really delicious. Then I quickly put some in Cyril's bowl too. Little brother, try it quickly. It's so good. Cyril looked at me, then stole a glance at Dad's furious expression before cautiously taking a sip. Not bad. Dad's expression looked as if he'd been betrayed. The barrage comments went wild with laughter. Kids really know how to tell it like it is. This looks so delicious. I want some too. The villain faces total abandonment. Uncle Lou can even make cola chicken wings. Mom added nonchalantly, right, Brian? Do you want to come tomorrow too? Dad quickly said, I can do it too. I'll cook tomorrow. How can we keep letting outsiders come to our house to cook? Brian is so busy. Mandy, just tell me what you'd like to eat, and I'll make it. I gave him a worried look. After dinner, I quietly hid a pile of snacks in my room. Cyril was puzzled. I reluctantly gave him half. If you don't want to go hungry tomorrow, then eat this. Sure enough, at dinner the next day, it can only be described as utterly disastrous. Mom looked at the table full of uniformly black dishes, her lips twitching. What are all these? Brian praised. Mr. Larry's culinary skills have considerable room for improvement. Dad picked up a sausage and placed it in Mom's bowl. Try it. It may look ordinary, but it's delicious. Then he placed an unidentified object in both Cyril's and my bowls. You should try it too. Dad's newly developed dish. Cyril's expression changed from confusion to horror. While Dad turned his head, I slipped that thing to Maverick. Maverick sniffed it. Yuck. Brian laughed until his eyes crinkled. Mom still didn't have the courage to try that sausage.
Aren't you supposed to go cozy up to someone powerful? Go on then. Her father rushed over with an ingratiating smile, clasping his hands together. Mandy, I was wrong. Your legs are still the thicker ones to cling to. Oh, weren't you just about to leave? Leave? Who's leaving? That suitcase is old. I was just taking it out to throw away. Bullet comments. The villain really knows when to bend and when to stand firm. Dignity in the suitcase, no longer needed. Did he learn face changing? Mom couldn't hold back her expression any longer and burst out laughing. Seizing the opportunity, Dad scooped her up into his arms and headed upstairs, startling her into quickly wrapping her arms around his neck. Larry, put me down. I won't. Cyril silently walked over to the suitcase and gave it a gentle kick with the tip of his foot. Forgot your dignity. Dad didn't even turn his head. No more. At the end of the year, there were still 10 days left before the holiday. Dad said that tonight he would have us serve as witnesses. He wants to propose to his mother. Earlier, he borrowed some money from his mother for an investment, and now it has multiplied tenfold. We waited at the school gate for our father to pick us up. A man suddenly rushed out from the crowd of parents and grabbed Cyril's arm. You little brat, finally found you. Where did your parents hide the money? The man shook violently. Cyril, I've lost everything. Hand over the money now. They could afford to buy both a house and a car back then. How could they not leave anything for you? Bullet comments. Holy shit, this is Cyril's own uncle. Wasn't gambling away his brother and sister-in-law's house enough? Now they won't even spare the inheritance. They were the ones who abandoned Cyril, leaving him to scavenge for food in the streets. What scum! If it weren't for the female supporting character, this child would have been done for. What are you doing? I'm calling the police. Teacher Lee rushed over to shield us. The man pushed Teacher Lee aside and dragged Cyril toward the road. Come with me. If you don't cough up the money today, you'll regret it. Bastard, he's trying to take the little brother away, without thinking. I rushed forward and bit down hard on the man's wrist. The man cried out in pain. You little brat. He kicked me out with brutal force. A screeching brake sound instantly pierced my ears. Someone caught me in their arms. Amidst the chaotic screams, I heard my father's heart-wrenching cry, Leona, Cyril. Opening my eyes again, I saw Cyril had somehow broken free from the man, holding me tightly in his arms and shielding me beneath him. Dad spread his arms wide, shielding us behind him. His back almost brushed against the front of the car. Bullet comments flooded the screen. My heart almost stopped. That scared me to death. I almost thought the villain was going to get into another car accident. He should go pray. So unlucky. Cyril actually protected Leona. The car owner, still in shock, rushed out of the vehicle, grabbed the man by the collar, and slapped him twice. Are you insane? Pushing a child into the road, you bastard. If I don't beat you to death today, I'll run you over next time. The sound of sirens grew closer. The man cursed and turned to flee into the crowd. They were pinned to the ground by the parents of Brooke and the others. He bullied Leona. He's a bad guy. Dad, can I hit him? Mom, can you kick him with your high heels? Dad's hands were trembling as he checked if we were injured. I'm fine, but Cyril has a scrape on his forehead. Cyril, thank you for saving Leona. Cyril uncomfortably let go of me. You saved me too, Dad. Bullet comments. Holy shit, Cyril called you Dad for the first time. The villain's eyes were red. The female lead. Look quickly, your autistic kid just spoke. What did you just call me? Dad's voice was hoarse. Cyril pursed his lips and turned his face away uncomfortably. Forget it if you didn't hear. I heard it, of course I heard it. Say it again. Let me check if I'm hallucinating. Dad. I watched these two like a broken record. One says Dad. The other responds yes. How boring. Got the guts to call Maverick Daddy and make it respond. Huh, now that would be impressive. At the police station, Mom rushed over in a hurry. When you signed the agreement for the $500,000 custody change. How did you do it? Black and white. It says never to harass. Are you tired of living now? Cyril's uncle, Dave, stiffened his neck and argued defensively. That's nothing, you're a big boss, and that's all you could offer. Besides, I'm his biological uncle. It's only natural for me to reclaim custody. Biological uncle, Cyril. After his parents died in a car accident, you abandoned him to fend for himself. A 3-year-old child survived by scavenging through trash bins for a week. And now you remember family ties. She had someone deliver a stack of documents. These are the evidence I had someone investigate. Gambling, fraud, illegal loans. Enough to put him behind bars for 10 years, don't you think? The barrage of comments sighed. The supporting female character is absolutely dashing. Trash relatives like these deserve to rot in jail. From now on, Cyril has new parents, and even a little sister. Dave was still cursing as he was dragged away. I stood on tiptoe and covered Cyril's ears. Little brother, no one will ever bully you again. Mom and Dad will protect you together. Cyril hung his head. After a long while, he let out a very soft That evening, Dad rushed over like his pants were on fire to find Cyril, who was drawing with me. Cyril, emergency help. You're good at drawing. Can you draw a ring for Dad? The kind that sparkles. Cyril, it's just that the diamond ring is lost. I even checked Maverick's mouth. Nothing. I must have dropped it somewhere during the day. I can't possibly use a soda can ring, can I? And we don't even have any cola at home. 10 minutes later, Dad was kneeling in front of Mom, holding up a piece of paper. On it was drawn a diamond ring in the shape of a heart. Next to it was a note that read, worth 100 million. Mom, did you ask Cyril to draw this? Dad shamelessly replied. Parent-child collaboration doubles the sincerity. Leona drew some too. He turned around and pulled out another drawing. I drew a 5-pointed star-shaped ring. Me, Dad. Can I start crying now? Mom, Leona, why are you crying? Dad said, if Mom doesn't agree, I should start crying. Cry hard. Cry with all my might. The barrage comments are hilarious, holding the emperor hostage to command the nobles. I love this ending. Mom finally couldn't hold back her laughter. She took away the drawing paper and raised an eyebrow at her father. Fine, barely passable. A month later, the custom-made new diamond ring her father ordered arrived. It was bigger and brighter than the original. I just hadn't given it to Mom yet when Maverick swallowed it whole. Both Cyril and I were running around in a panic. Finally, before Mom and Dad got home from work, we coaxed Maverick to poop it out. The smell was a bit strong. I don't like washing. Cyril doesn't like it either. Dad couldn't find his ring and saw us squatting in the bathroom, so he came over to ask, Leona, have you seen the ring Dad bought? The next second, he saw a golden ring embedded in a pile of dog poop. Maverick